Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the Nivedita and Dianne Show. I am so happy that today is a day of celebration. Today is a day of, you know, being open to the consciousness. That was what I wanted to say. It's just talking about so many things that really we need to address. Um, but I just want to say sometimes we have to stop and think before we open our mouth. But this is one time I want somebody to open her mouth, and name is Nivedita.
Hi,
Welcome,
everybody.
Nivedita, and welcome, Catherine. We'll talk to Catherine in a moment. Nivedita, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Certainly. Hi, everyone. I live in Australia, in Melbourne, in Australia, and I'm the owner and director of My Virtual Healing Centre, which is an online healing group. So I offer various modalities to help everyone become happier and healthier and get through their blockages. And I love what I do. I love it when people's faces light up after a session. And I do group work as well as individual work. So if you want to check that out, please check myvirtualhealingcenter.com. Thank you.
Thank you. And since we have Catherine, introduce yourself, Catherine, please. I'll do mine after.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's good to be here. Thank you, ladies, for having me join you tonight. I am a pastor, I am a counselor, I am a Dow Hands healer practitioner. I do life coaching and, just to make everyone happy and feel good. That's what I do, and that's what I'm here. My ministry is called Divine Destiny World Changer Center, and I'm here to change the format of the world, how people feel, what they do, and what the outcome can be. So, thank you for having me, ladies. Let's have some fun tonight.
Of course,
Wonderful.
I know we had a show once with the sexy show. And Catherine, let me tell you something. Not because she has a pastor's hat on, a prophetess hat. This woman, you want to talk about sexy? You talk about sexy. Oh yes, she can talk about anything. And for those who are joining us for the first time, and those who already know me, I want to say my name is Dianne Ojar, and what I do, in the media side of it, I do radio, TV, media, an author, also the experiential coach, the elephant in the room, which you're going to hear a lot about today, as well as the Dow Hands practitioner and NLP hypnotherapy. Oh, that's a lot in one basket. But pretty much we have these modalities that we use and we customize and combine, just like every one of us here. And this is what we do. So I just want to say thank you all so much for joining us. And those who are coming on, you hear with Catherine and Nivedita, but people catch us on the replay. And I just want to say also the fact that we're here to have fun, absolutely, but we're also here to share the lessons and the learnings and the teachings that we have learned ourselves to help you have that experiential breakthrough. I want to say thank you all so much. And we're going to, again, mute Nivedita as usual. So, yes, Nivedita is just checking everybody's online and it just automatically comes on. So one of these days we'll master it. That's no problem. So I just wanted to say to everyone, thank you so much. So first, let's talk about celebrations. We have to acknowledge, how was your week? We'll start with Catherine while Nivedita is still figuring that out. So Catherine, how was your week so far? Or weekend, or whichever one.
Well, the weekend was great. I'd say the celebration, as you said, celebration. Looking at enjoying life, knowing that the higher power, God has our back, regardless of what we're going through. We can get help from somewhere, and I think this week, everyone, I have to say, around the world might have been feeling a little more stressed, a little more pressured. And I feel that yesterday was to bring a release, releasing that pressure, releasing that, because, you can heal yourself. And the only way you can do it is start to speak to yourself and do proper breathing, and allowing the Spirit of God to just move inside of you and make you free. So that's that was my thing. And I've seen breakthroughs. I've seen emotions broken yesterday. I felt the power of the healing virtue just flowing through the airwaves yesterday, because we do everything online. And it was powerful. It was very powerful.
Awesome. Nivedita, you can unmute yourself.
You can see why Dianne is the coordinator of all of it. Well, I've had an exciting week because I was nominated to be a woman.
No, let me stop you. You are a
Yes.
recipient. You weren't nominated anymore. You're a recipient now because you were recognized.
And I received a beautiful award from the Junction, which is, and Dianne can explain what that is because I'm not quite 100% sure. And so I was a recipient of an award there as a woman of excellence. So I was very, very happy with that. And Dianne was also a recipient, and she received an award.
Yes, thank you. So you got the award for Women in the Community because what you do in your community and service. This is this one is the Woman of Excellence Award, Women Entrepreneurship. Yes. It's a little heavy. It has some weight to it, to tell the truth. This part is a little bit heavy. And I want to thank the Junction Network and the group who recognizes here to say where great minds meet. And the Junction Network is a non-for-profit that works in the community. And they're looking into also branching off online as well, global. So this is where we have Nivedita. I'm also proud to say that Myrna Ojar, who happens to be my sister, is a nurse of 49 years, and she's served across the world. And she's been through a lot. And actually nominated her because it just so happened on February 1st, she was her 49th anniversary, coincidentally. And I never thought about it. She just had to bypass through a whole slew of things. And I'm telling you this for a reason. And and she's in Trinidad, and this is the first time that if anybody's ever acknowledged either one of these ladies. So this is why I wanted this to be where people have never been acknowledged. And by the way, we're looking into having something to acknowledge men and women who's never been recognized before. That's coming up in the future. So I'm talking to a few people. How are we going to do this? And we're going to do it online so everybody gets a chance. It's a little difficult when it's a lot more work, I just say, and challenging when we have it in person and then we have to do it. We'll see how we can coordinate that, but keep your eyes and ears open for the people who's never been nominated before and is doing
in the community out there. Yes.
And this is global, of course. We always do everything global, right? So that was the weekend. There's so many things happening and so many events that's going to be happening. But one of the things we're going to be talking about, and I'm just going to bring this up, and thank you for every those who are coming on, catch us on the replay, put a comment. You know what? We have the wheel. So remember the last time when we had the girls on, actually we didn't have the girls on, but they got some amazing breakthroughs and stuff. So I gotta spin the wheel, guys. Okay.
This Catherine, this is Dianne's new choice.
My new choice. That's right. That's absolutely right. And you know what? Also, what will be coming up too as well is, and I'll make some announcements what's coming up. And I need you to all help me with something. But first of all, I want to show you this. This is an event that's coming up, and we're going to be talking about this, Catherine, Nivedita, and myself, that's talk about living your truth versus speaking your mind. And we came up with this because most people might believe it's the same thing. It's not. We're also going to be talking about triggers. I have an event coming up, know your triggers. And again, coming back to this. So I want you ladies and those who are joining us, ask questions. And Catherine, I'm going to start it off with you about why you wanted to do this workshop and collaborate with me with this workshop in regards to, I believe it's very different. Like you've always heard me say, stop, think before you open your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, we have these triggers. And I'll actually tell you a little story about, well, let me tell you first. It's my 10th year, coming to my 10th year anniversary from when I did my NLP and hypnotherapy. It's also my 10th year anniversary since I wrote my book. So it's a 10th year for everything. And it's sprinted. And when I was doing my NLP hypnotherapy training, I didn't know this. I have scoliosis, right? And I believe it was the day before, I was showing the girls in the class my spine. And I didn't realize there was a bump in the top here. Nivedita, is that the C7 or something? I can't remember. On the top.
Yes.
Okay, around there, somewhere around there. And it wasn't a break. True story. It wasn't a break. And then my teacher, she came up to me, and I'm not that person to be very expressive and bawling down the place and crying down the place and so forth. I'm not that type of person. I might be extrovert that you see me here, but believe me, Catherine knows me like this, never read. I am very introvert. Trust me on that one. For most people who know me. But she said something to me. I wasn't talking. I was just shaking my head, and I started to let go and release. And she was holding me, and she was rubbing my spine. I didn't realize any of this. And as she's rubbing my spine, she's rubbing the spine. I guess she must have found something. Now, she's very intuitive. She's considered to be a high priestess. And I didn't know that. This is the first time I was really open to energy. Still didn't know much about it. And having this experience. This is the first time when we talked about triggers. We talked about attachment, and anchoring is also like triggers. And as I am balling in her hands, which I don't do. She's rubbing this, and it pretty much melted under my skin like putty in her hands.
Mm-hmm.
And she said this to me after. Now, I was sitting with a backrest because we sat in a chair for 3 months, writing, like I said, very intense training. Very, very intense. Then that night, there was a snowstorm, and we had to end up staying in the hotel. We had no clothes. Thank God there was a pharmacy attached to the hotel. So we got toiletries. So we had 4 women sleeping in the underwear. But we became close, the women and so forth. And there was 3 men, but they were in another room, of course. The next morning I woke up and I said to one of the girls, Karen, I said, Karen, could you just check my back for me? She said, oh my God, Dianne, it's gone. That bump on my back, which I didn't even know was there, was a release of an attachment to something I barely remembered. Very vaguely remembered when I was very young. That's like, you know. So this is what we're talking about. What is, what triggers, what is attachment, what is, anchoring. It's all the same. It's when there is your body has a memory to some occurrences, could be in past lives or when you're a childhood. Mm-hmm. It could be something. I was not a planned child. I came 5 years after. I also was very sick as a baby, and there were certain things. So I was so sick. They said it was best for me to not, live on, because I would suffer so much. I don't know which one it is, and it could be other things as well. The point is, without getting too much into things, this is what happens. And these are elephants in your life. So they have permission to talk about it, but I always forget about that. That was the first time I experienced that. Never thought about it much until last night. I was thinking, I said, you know what? It's the same thing, because we have a lot of release that we do. So that's what triggers are, or like I said, attachments to the event. And we have to release the emotions. Now, one of the reasons how this came about, and I'll let Catherine say from there, and I'll add my piece on after, and then we'll have this conversation. And let's see who, for those who are joining us, thank you so much. Thank you, Sue. Happy Monday, Sue. Thank you so much for joining us, and put comments and questions. So please, I will just take this off. Register. It's online. I will be speaking. Catherine will be speaking, and it's going. If you've ever been to any of my sessions, you'll understand. You have to leave there with something. You have to leave there with something. And if you don't leave there with something, I will finish it in the aftermath. That's what I'm here to do. So, Catherine, if you may please.
Living your truth versus speaking your mind. I believe a lot of people are living for somebody else. They're going through life living somebody else's dream, vision, whatever it is, and you're not happy. You're not coming into your own reality. You're not seeing your dream come true. We all have we have dreams that we desire, but because probably your mother had a dream and she was going through something, and she wants to live that dream through you. Parents do that. Colleagues do that. They want you because you might be a little more positive, you might be a little more aggressive, and they might put something on you. But because you don't have the dream for yourself, or you don't have the vision for yourself, or you have not set a goal for yourself, anything that has passed, you have attached yourself to, and therefore you're living something that is not true to who you really are. And then speaking your mind is an area where, again, we hold back. We tighten ourselves because we don't want to say something to hurt somebody. But therefore, we need to be releasing and speaking how we truly feel, because then it makes us feel a lot better. It releases a lot of these things that are holding us back, that is within our own self, and we're not speaking our truth, and therefore again we're not coming into the true reality of who we are. These two things are not the same, but yet they look the same. And I think once we can go in and identify, and as Dion was saying, there are also areas that are trigger points that cause us to constantly be going back into the same thing. I have a theory that I talk about, that we have an elastic band and we start to stretch ourselves like an elastic band. But the day we let go one side, it goes back to the original form of that elastic band, where our life is built to stretch us, to build us, to make us be greater than we even thought that we can. And it's not about to exalt yourself in any way, but it's to be your true self, to be truly who you were created to be. And I think that has been the problem with a lot of us. And a lot of us are not living our truth. We're living our grandmother's life, our parents' life, our friend's life, the life of a teacher or whoever it is, but it's not your life. So it is time that women and men, boys and girls, whoever it may be, rise up to the challenge and become the true to who you are, and see yourself in that greater light and not through the light of somebody else's. And that's what I would say, Dion.
Nivedita, what is your take on that? You're muted.
I agree with everything that Catherine says. I remember many years ago that I had a reading from somebody, and she said to me, when you start living by your own truth and your own values, you'll find yourself, because it seemed like I was living with somebody else's truth and values, and I was projecting them because I didn't really know who I was at the time. Mm-hmm. And when the journey of finding the self is really important, so then you can know who you truly are.
Yeah. Lovely. So let's okay, without mentioning any of the craziness that's going on right now, we don't want to put energy to that. But it's now, when we say triggers, I know Catherine and I were talking about this. It's been in the air for a long time. These triggers are, I guess, are the elephant, and I do the elephant in the room session for those who want to know about it, so we can release the emotions that's attached to whatever is holding you back. And of course, we have gestalt, which is anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, and all those different emotions that, those are states of mind as well that's holding us back. And when we do the elephant, or we discover what the triggers are, basically what you're doing is allowing you, it could be being not loved. Now, Nivedita, why don't you tell us quickly what that trigger was for you, because you've experienced the elephant very briefly.
Yes.
Talk about this.
Oh,
I don't
if
like
I
to put words in people's mouth. We have somebody who've done it, so she might as well say.
well, when this happened for me, by the grace of the divine and grace of God, I was in a place where I wasn't quite sure where I was going, why I was stuck, what was preventing me from being my best self. And I did the elephant in the room with Dianne, and that started a long friendship, a deep friendship. And what happened was I'd always had my childhood wasn't the most loving childhood that I had. And I remember things like every time we got something, for example, one Christmas, we got some uncles came from overseas. They were seamen, merchant seamen, and they would bring all these gifts with them for us, that they've been collecting at every port, like suitcases of clothing and all of that sort of thing. And one Christmas we received these beautiful dolls, and they were quite large, and they were walking dolls, which was very unique at that time. You just walked with them, and they were, you could just hold the hand of the doll and you would just lead it and it would walk, which in those days was amazing. I mean, that's going back many, many years, and as soon as we received them, they were taken off us so we wouldn't break them and put in a wardrobe, and we didn't find them until much, much later. But it was like that with a lot of things, like before the uncles would go back to sea, they'd leave some money for us. And as soon as they stepped out the door, our parents would rush in and grab the money, and say, and I would say, oh, that's mine. They say, nothing's yours. Nothing's yours. And the elephant was, and this made me feel really insecure, of course. And the elephant was that everything I'd ever received was taken away from me. So this was an expectation in life that everything I received would be taken away from me. And when Dianne mentioned that, and it was like just such a big aha moment, the biggest aha moment I've ever had. And it was like such a truth that it was really rocked my whole body and my consciousness. So it made this quantum shift within me so that I can move away from that negative information and move ahead and become my best self, or on that journey to being my best self. So it was truly a profound event that Dianne has the grace to offer people, the elephant in the room, because she hits the nail on the head every time, and everybody that's done it, she's hit the nail on the head every time for everybody. And they're all saying what a huge and profound difference it's made in their lives and in their psyche, because when something like that hits you, it's like it's there, it's a happening that really has those vibrations that bring all this positive information to you for the rest of your life, because you can only move forward because you've let go of that elephant. It's like myself when I was in America quite a few years ago, and my son-in-law's best friend came over, and he was limping, and he was saying his hip was really, really sore, and he couldn't play around with his kids anymore. So I offered him a healing. I was doing kinesiology and soul healing at the time. And so he started having this pain in his ankle. So I said, go straight into that pain and go deeper into it. And he said, no, but it's unbearable. And I said, just go deeper and deeper and deeper in it. And then suddenly he went, whew, he said, wow. He said, this took me right back to a skiing accident I'd had. And the repressed memories in his ankle were what was causing the problem in his hip. So once he identified that and was able to let go of those suppressed memories, then that was able to shift everything. And he said he was just so grateful, because he said, oh, now I can run around and play with the kids and grovel on the floor and play with them. And he said, and it's such a gift. He was so happy, and he's never looked back since.
Well, thank you for sharing that. So let me just ask you a quick question, because we'll get into this. And thank you for sharing that. In the 60 years, because we've said this before and we have permission to say she's 74. So this we're talking about is like 60 plus years. Absolutely. It was what was talking about this attachment. What was one or two of the, just very simple, just name them, one or two of the triggers that would trigger off you going back into that place, that state of mind of not being good enough, I believe is what it was.
Yes, it was
deserving.
lack of worthiness, and it was very deep because it affected every part of my life, and it caused great suffering, because when you feel you're not worthy, you're not good enough, whether you're not worthy to be blessed by any holy saints you believe in, or whether you're not blessed to be fortunate or able to achieve success, then that's like this huge how would you say it? It's like a dark shadow that suppresses you in your life, because you can't move on ahead, you can't move to the light, you can't get out of this process because you're stuck in it, and until you hit that aha moment, or it's given to you or blessed to you, then you can't move on because you're stuck in your stuff. You're stuck in your attachments, you're stuck in your grief, you're stuck in your pain, you're stuck in your suffering, until you have that release and you can see for what it is intelligently. This is the reason why, because it has to hit every part of your body, mind, soul, consciousness in order to be so effective. And it's a gift.
She is a perfect example right now. So, okay, so that was the trigger. That was your elephant. Were you living in your truth at the time? Were you being authentic or honest with yourself, or when you were serving your clients? And of course, the other question is, is the next line is, you were speaking from your mind. Were you really speaking from your heart? So,
yes.
So
yeah, I tended always to be a mind person. I relied on my mind, not so much my heart. And it's only as I became more involved in opening up to the more deeper spiritual, esoteric side of me that I really began to open up to my heart. And that's really important, to think with the heart and to love yourself from the heart, not just superficially, like think, oh, I'll have my hair done today, I have my nails done today. It's much deeper than that. It's about you valuing yourself and loving yourself more. And when that happens, it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks or does, because you're valuing yourself, and that deep intrinsic part of you that is divine, is sacred, because everybody has that all-knowing, all-wise part of them in their body, mind, consciousness. And this is called the soul. And I always say to my students, I can see everyone's soul. You're like these golden light balls, and you're just in class and you're all radiating, and your soul is just beautiful. You have no idea how beautiful you are. And, and to be able to impart that to my students when they're doing yoga, whether they're relaxing or doing actual yoga, they just light up. It's like you're giving a gift because you're expressing yourself. So that gift is there because you're sharing part of your life, because everybody has light. They're born with light. We're born as pure souls, and we need to get back to that core, who we really are. And that's what brings the joy, and that's what brings the self-healing.
Absolutely. And for those who are just joining us, please catch us on the replay. We're here with Catherine and Nivedita. We're talking about triggers and, living your truth as versus speaking your mind. Catherine,
Yes.
could you please?
I am. As you all were speaking, I feel like those that are online right now, I feel that, you can draw from this energy, what you're feeling right now, because I think some of you are agreeing, yes, I understand why I'm stuck. Now there's something, take this opportunity to look at that class and become part of it, because you will be amazed to see how the transformation in your life, how things can happen, and you can start to live the way you want to live, because when these kind of things come into your area, even into your ears, you got to pay attention, because the universe is trying to tell you something. It is trying to draw you, because it is something you're seeking. And I always say, whatever you're seeking is seeking you. So whatever you have been seeking, tonight is the night that you start to seek it, and it will be in your place.
No, thank you for that. Here is the thing. There's a lot of noise happening around, and we talk about how people, and I believe certain things happen because it's so timely and everybody's so frustrated, they don't know. And sometimes one thing have to happen to one person, which is an example. tip of anyone else. Just before the show, I just happened to hear a quote from Steve. I'm always quoting Steve because it's so profound, whether he got it from him or he makes up, I don't know. But that's why I heard it. We do know there's a blessing in everything, whether you want to believe this or not. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I am telling you, if you embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly in your life from thy kingdom to come and embrace it and be thankful and grateful, you're much ahead. You're way ahead than a lot of people that you know. Because you have to actually really and truly understand and be grateful for what has happened to you. So again, there's a blessing in everything, behind every moment of adversity, meaning the difficult times, or the misfortunes, or what happened to me. Oh, in your life, there's a blessing and a lesson. I had this conversation saying that no, there is no failure. There's no failures, only lessons to learn. And once you understand, I had that conversation with someone today, and I believe she's on the line with us. So when we say that, you have to understand that. Here's what I do know. Excuse me. If you couldn't handle the pain, the difficulties, the struggles, how could you get through anything in life? Pain is a gift. How you interpret it and how you work with it is a whole nother story. I heard the quote this week, and I heard it a different way today, is saying, in your high moment, the devil will come to test you. But I heard him say this way as well, too. When things are going wrong, the devil is, and when you're doing things wrong, the devil, the dark side, is all happy and dandy. When you're moving forward and you're achieving things and everything is good, that's when thing takes over. Now, this is a metaphor we're talking about. I'm not quoting Bible here or anything to that effect. Because now you're so comfortable with the doing things the wrong way. That's our comfort zone. But now when it's time for you to be tested and to purify, that's a whole nother story. So all I'm saying is the fact that all these triggers and so forth that's been going on is the time for people to wake up and say, oh my goodness, I am a role model. I'm an influencer. I'm a leader. I'm a teacher. These things are happening. Why is it happening? Some things happen in a split moment. These things, you have a split moment where you have to make a decision. Speak your truth from your heart or speak from your mind. When you speak from your mind, guess what happens? Mm-hmm. The triggers happen. The craziness happen. You make a spectacle of yourself, could destroy you. Catherine? It's loaded.
I think that, when we try to reason things in our mind, a mess happens. I think one of the scripture you were trying to indicate here says, what the dark side or what the devil means for evil, it is turned around for your good. So as you're saying that in everything that we go through, there's a lesson to be learned, right? There's no experience that we would experience in life that we don't learn something from it. And if we didn't learn the first time, it goes again, the trigger point happened, you go through it again until you get it, until you learn what it is you're supposed to learn in that lesson. And I think life is about lesson, and triggers is about listening to your body, listening to what it's saying to you so that you don't repeat the same action. If you're going to step on a nail, You know, from the time that nail, the point of that nail touches you, you feel the prick, you feel that pain. So why would you want to go and do it again and do it again and do it again? So therefore, you would know the first time. And one of the things our parents teach us from day one, do not touch the stove. It is hot. That was one of the key things that we have learned from a young child. Don't touch it. It's hot. You get a little smack on your hand. But because of our curiosity, because, what are they talking about? And they put the hand there, you feel the heat. But sometimes, we go into the heat and we forget what it felt like. And you put your hand until you come to your own self, your consciousness awaken. Then you realize, if I continue doing the same thing, I'm getting the same result. Therefore, something has to change. And then, and only then, will you make that change. Right?
Absolutely. And one of the things I tell you, we have a subconscious mind, unconscious mind. Mm-hmm. That is your soul, your gut, your spirit, your breath, whatever you want to call it. We're not here in any biblical form whatsoever. However, mm-hmm. we're here on a spiritual journey. We're here to help people to move forward in their lives. Mm-hmm. That's true. If I say to Catherine, don't look behind you, Catherine, don't hear the word don't. Mm-hmm. Our conscious mind cannot it's not there to comprehend the word negative.
Right.
The unconscious mind is here to protect you, to save you, to guide you, to teach you, everything that's there. Your unconscious mind is your soul, it's your spirit. It's not going to hurt you. If we're going to talk deep now. There are many times people have thought about committing suicide, ending their lives. And there are times when they stop. Why that is because your body is there to protect you. It will not hear, and then you start talking yourself out of what you know is your truth. And then it comes from the mind. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies. It comes from the mind. When it comes from the mind, is where you grab something quickly. You take action quickly. You swallow the pills. You tie a rope. You do something silly. You cross the street. It's a split-second decision. Mm-hmm. Because you've talked yourself out of what makes sense. So it's not coming from your authentic true self anymore. It's coming from you speaking your mind. Now, speaking your mind does not only mean words. It's actions.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts.
So don't believe that if you say something, mm-hmm. that's the only thing about what speaking your mind do. Mm-hmm. The way you dress, the way you care about yourself, that's speaking your mind because you get dressed. If you really want to get dressed from an authentic place, you will sit down there and you will make sure that you feel good and it's congruent to you. If you just grab something and just put it on, and people say, what in the world does she have on? We know you did not stop. And I'll tell you something. These two ladies, I'm the opposite. These two ladies, she's home, Nivedita, in her little room there. And I'm telling you, she's always poised. Catherine, love the haircut. This woman is always dressed to kill. Mm-hmm. Like she's always put together. But if she's home or not. Mm-hmm. So again, it comes because, again, as a leader, influencer, it has to come. I say, I am a leader. That's from yourself. That's speaking your truth. But when you start doing crazy things, it comes from the mind. Why does it come from the mind? Because there's certain things around you is triggering you. This didn't happen. And triggers don't only believe triggers are emotion. Triggers are things around you. So you could have a relationship that didn't go right. He could have been in a park or hear a song and, maybe you were being in a physical abusive relationship. A song could be a trigger. A smell could be a trigger. Anything could be a trigger. Somebody look at you and it ticks you up. Pet peeves are triggers. So anyone you ladies want to comment to what are your thoughts about how this works? Don't believe they're disconnected. They're not disconnected. For those who are listening right now, say something, make a comment. Then you get to spin the wheel, guys.
Looking forward to that wheel.
Yes. Yeah.
I wrote a message in the Stepping Into Your Worth, and I said, please share how you're feeling. Please ask any questions.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
hopefully somebody's going to do that. And if you get lucky enough to be get a lucky spin on the wheel, then
you get your mala. We get your mala.
Pardon? No, you don't get my mala.
Show them your mala. It's beautiful. It's heavy. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
My Kuan Yin mala.
She's playing with that. You know what? We everything that we do, it's so unexpected here. So you don't know if you might be one person right now who is going through something, and we can probably help you here or beyond. You don't know. You don't know. So again, speak your truth, meaning that what's bothering you? Is something triggering off right now? Is something affecting you right now? How can we help you? Speak up.
Be ready to receive a blessing.
Yes.
They're not going to get my read if they don't say anything. So coming back to this, so let's go. You have been working a lot in the community, Catherine, and you have a group. What are some of the things that you hear in the group about this, and why did you agree to do this particular one? And you know, is it because you've been hearing that noise? You've been hearing people talking. Because you're a prophetess, basically. You know, why don't you explain? I can't remember if you did or not. I apologize. Especially what the prophetess does. You know, you pick up things from people. Sorry, whoever wrote that, Nivedita, who wrote that message just now? I don't know what. Catherine goes ahead. Somebody wrote it, but I can't see the name. So you might be able to tell me the name as well. But go ahead, Catherine, what I can
yes,
figure this
out. Rosemary's written that message.
Okay, Rosemary. Okay, we'll talk to Rosemary in a minute. Yes, go ahead,
it's just like Nivedita said earlier, you know, when you get a reading, when I get a message, I get messages for those that whoever God had desired to speak to. Maybe they have been asking questions and they weren't getting any answers or whatever, and that person might be in the presence of a service or whatever, an event. And I may get a message, and I might be in a grocery and I get a message for somebody, and I will tell them this is what the Lord says, you know. So I relate the message, and it's not up to me to see it come to pass. No, if I got a message, I give it to you. It is up to God to make it come to pass for you. But what you're saying, Dion, is that sometimes, you know, we get well, when people come in front of me and I pick up different emotions, different pain, different, you know, somebody might be going through a pain in their body, whether their back, their shoulder, sometimes their big toe, you know, and it's always very strange when I get a big toe, you know, and I'm saying, well, why would you choose the toe, you know? But that's what is where that person is feeling the pain, and it's hindering them from walking properly, but it's also something that has been affecting their balance.
Well, let me just add to that. Nivedita, you as well. We've had conversations when I had problems with my knee. Well, again, for different reasons. And, you know, since we have the new book, a lot has happened in my spine and so forth. And we'll get to Rosemary. In the meantime, you could read Rosemary's comment there. But anything to do with the foot basically means moving forward, in a sense, right? So, again, strides, your hands, your feet. The body is very symbolic. So let's look at Rosemary. I believe you said it's Rosemary because I can't see her name there. So she says, I have a sibling who openly talks about his struggles, his health, his family, finance, to everyone. But he's one of the most traveled because of freebies. I'm going to break this up in my interpretation piece by piece. When people get things that they don't see a value because they haven't invested, they enjoy it, but it doesn't really mean much to them because they don't appreciate it. He's been fortunate to travel to see the world, and yet he's complaining about everything else. I have my own struggles. We all have struggles. We will always have some type of challenge moving forward, because every time we go up a different part of our life, guess what? But as much as possible, I don't share them. So you're not speaking your truth, but Rosemary, you have to know who to speak your truth to. For those who are not listening, and then we'll hear Catherine's, and for those who are willing to listen are the ones you have to be speaking to. Not get involved in your brother's drama. That's his drama. Now I'm irked or envious. Are you asking, am I irked or envious? Is that a question? When my other siblings offered to help him, when in fact his children are all doing well. So he's just sucking the life out of you guys. Plain and simple. He's enjoying it and being a complainer and say, look at me, look at me, look at me. Now, I would say this, and I'll pass it on. When someone comes into our life, regardless of who it is, brother, mother, sister, friend, boyfriend, siblings, whoever, they put in there for you. This is about you and how you work and you deal with this. This has nothing to do with them. They be presented to you for a reason, to work on your triggers, to work on your issues, to work on your elephants, to work on all these things. So you have to figure how why is this affecting me? What is going on in my life? I'll pass it on to you because I can go on forever.
Go ahead, Nivedita.
I would say at that stage that you would be dealing with someone who has got a lot of negative information. So you need to get to the root of that negative information so that you can change it around to more positive information. Because the negative information is all the messages you give your consciousness, and this affects your soul, heart, mind, and body, can bring disease. Like if you're dissatisfied with yourself, it can bring anxiety, it can bring problems with your spleen because you're worrying about things that that maybe you don't need to worry about.
You need to mute your Facebook, okay?
I've just switched it off.
Okay.
Yeah, I just switched it off.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, so it's about changing the attitudes, changing the beliefs that you have that things are not going right in your life and it's all blame and projection. So you need to change that negative information into positive information, and for gratitude for what you've received already, because gratitude is important. I do some awesomeness practices with my students. Before we start any classes, I say, let's do our awesomeness technique. And we bend down, touch our toes, run our hands up our legs and our body and say, I feel awesome. And we do that 10 times. And then we say, which belongs to actually Master Marilyn Smith, and she wrote a book on gratitude changes your life. So I just say, now we'll do the gratitude one. Gratitude changes my life.
Okay, Nivedita, sing it. You're dying to sing it one time. You're dying to sing it.
Hang on a moment then.
You don't have to get up. You don't have to stand up. You can sit down and do it. You muted yourself.
It's because I was making a noise as I was putting something away. Okay.
God, you cracked me up.
Okay, so you touch your fingers to your toes, run your hands up your legs, and you say, gratitude changes my life. Gratitude changes my life. Gratitude changes my life. And then you sing it. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude changes my life. Boom, boom. Gratitude changes my life. It's a happy song, and it's, you can dance to it and move around a bit. And I just love it because it makes you feel happy, and you're changing your mind, changing all the cells in the body. All the endorphins are running around going, woohoo, it's great fun.
She's like a little kid whenever she does that. I swear to you.
I love that.
Catherine?
Yeah. I think with the gentleman, he is
Rosemary.
Yeah, I know. But the brother. Yeah, I believe that he's coming from a place of lack of contentment, and again, it's speaking of he's not grateful with what he has. Is when that the spirit of greed is there. You're never satisfied. You're never contented with what you have, and the opposite with her. In the sense of not looking for outside the moralists, I call them the moralists, those that are out there declaring what they have, and this is, look at what I do and look at where I'm going, but you who is humble and going through and not understanding, I am blessed, and not saying that to yourself, it shows that, as you said, the envy, and that destroys us within ourselves, because even when we get something, we still want to say, couldn't I got something better? Why this? Because so she's not contented within herself. And first to begin, you have to love yourself. So not because your brother has this or his children has this, you have to love you. You have to love you where you are, and then things will move in the direction that you desire to see it go. And nothing's going to happen for you unless you're contented, satisfied, and loving where you are first, and then you see the thing. So it has to do with the inward man, as Nivedita said. It has to do from within, and then change within, then you see everything outwardly changes.
I believe the part, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rosemary, so you may quickly want to type this, is I believe the part that's troubling her is the last line, more or less saying, when this other siblings offered to help him, in fact, when his children are doing well. So everybody's struggling, but they want to help. Now, maybe he's an only child, maybe he's just a favorite, or maybe, why are they helping? Probably saying, why are they helping him when I need problems, everybody else, and he has everything? This really has, yes and no. It has to do with the family, but it has to do with you. We've had conversations whereby saying, this is about how you react to this. If you continue, we say that envy, ego, jealousy, we've done scorpions. Maybe we haven't, Rosemary, with you, but these are all the poison in the body and the mind, and you can go on and on and on. That's taking you over. This really has nothing to do with your brother per se, personally. He has his own karma and his own crap to deal with.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not about him. It's about how you. If you are grateful for little or much you have, it's the gratitude, like Nivedita said, saying thankful. You're thankful for a bed. You're thankful for a house. You're thankful for heat. You're thankful for food. You're thankful for clothing. You're thankful that you can actually pay some bills, and so forth. When you're thankful for this much, you will get this much. You may not see it overnight. But what I'm saying is, look into yourself and say, what is bothering you? What is triggering you off? Is this who you really are before you open your mouth and say anything? Does that make any sense to you, Rosemary?
I think if you look at also what she is feeling envious about, those are things that are going to wither away. It's not something that is everlasting. And I think one of the things that when we are going to say, well, why do they have this and I don't? Just look at it in the sense of, but I have life. I have something that I can go through for the rest of my life. I have inner peace. I have love, rather than these things that it really makes no sense. When COVID, when the pandemic happened, nobody could have traveled. Nobody could have gone everywhere. Everybody was stationary, So again, when we look at all these things, we have to remember, okay, so I didn't get to travel, so neither did anybody else. Everybody was locked in. So again, once we understand all of that, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm alive. I'm happy that I'm whole. I'm happy that I have a neighbor. I could probably help somebody else because I am happy.
Well, the other thing, I want people to understand, this is from my perspective, my opinion, is that it's not one or the other. There's a combination of things. First of all, are you jealous of the fact that he's getting attention from the family? If he is, maybe he's always been that way. When you ask your family for help, do they help you the way they help him? All these other things. But again, it's being contented with who you are, being loved. Are you getting the attention that you believe that you deserve? Here's the thing I don't know. Expectations will kill you. When you expect too much and you don't get it, you get disappointed. So if you have no expectations, you will not be disappointed if it doesn't happen. Now, what if it did happen? Would you have learned the lesson there? Because again, with pain, leaves a gift and a lesson. An obstacle leaves a gift and a lesson. There's no failures. There's absolutely no failures. You can't fail at something if you haven't attempted it. You can learn from it, and you can, like this show. We always have little things happening, little things here, there, and everything, and we always do our best to get it on track. All I'm saying is that you have to stop, look within yourself to see why you even addressing it. Nobody is perfect. Perfection will kill you as well. That's the way they say it. I don't want to see the words, but that's how they phrase it. It can hurt you.
Well, one of the other thing too, Rosemary, you have to be careful that you think your brother is living his true self, where that image that he is giving could be very empty. It could be very lonely. And because of that, you're thinking that, wow, he's seeing the world and yet he's still not happy. But it's because he's coming from an empty place where you are contented, where you are happy in that sense, and without things. He needs things to show that he is this or he is that. But you have who you have, which is the love, the peace, the grace, and you ought to be contented with that, because you're not looking, as Dianne says, for that attention. So I think that you got to be careful that he is not really living his true self, and whereas you are happy with who you are, but yet you feel that you need more, because things will make you feel that you're better than, and you have to be, that's a dangerous road.
Sweetie, I know you love your brother. And again, this is like more the elephant, to figure out why you feel uncomfortable, why not living the truth. And, we've had conversations. If you want to figure out why you feel uncomfortable, it's something you have to explore, and it goes much deeper than that. So again, you are not broken to be fixed. You just need to be tweaked. Okay. So here we go. So let's see, Rosemary, again, you got it. You get it 30 minutes. Now you had it with me the last time, an hour and a half. So Nivedita and Catherine, she can have a chat with you. You have a choice for you two lovely ladies. So you can share in the chat who you would like to do that with. So I want to read something that is in this book. It's a blessing for everybody who's on right now. Everyone. Okay, so not here to convince you about, this is the Soul, Mind, Body Medicine book by Dr. Jigan Shah. In this book, okay, you guys gonna have to put this, I think it's a Bible for goodness sake. It gives you all these different, where is it? Techniques. Yeah, techniques where all different illnesses, how to heal the body. It is phenomenal. But there is a blessing in the back here that's offered to everyone. I just discovered it today. So I'm going to read this. So close everybody's eyes, and put your hands in your, in a prayer position. You could put one in your lower abdomen. You can put one in your heart, or anywhere that you have a problem, For you, Rosemary, you may want to do your heart. If you don't know where to put it, you can always ask heaven, or you can always put it on your heart. Heal your heart, you heal all blockages. I'm going to read this. So it's a healing blessing from my soul. It's for everyone. If you don't want to partake in this, it's a very simple thing. Very simple. There's 2 ways to do it, but I'm just going to do the only one. So Master Shah says, in the soul, mind, body medicine, I've revealed many sacred secrets of soul healing. To conclude in this book, I'm very honored to offer my soul service to all humanity and all souls in the Jutian, the 9 layers of heaven and the universe. To receive my soul healing service, silently say from the bottom of your heart. Now, you're using Master Shah's soul. I cannot tell you how powerful that is. For him to offer his soul, you to call on his soul, everyone, it is very profound. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let's go. Dear the soul of Jigan Shah, I love you. Could you give me a soul healing for my state? What it is you want it for? Name the unhealthy condition for which you would like to receive the healing blessing. And then say, I am grateful. Thank you. Then completely relax. If you're sitting up straight or lying down, quietly for 3 minutes. Just breathe in that area. And you close your eyes to receive the healing blessings from his soul. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Yes, we're going to be over time. Just breathe the area that you're looking for, that healing. It could be emotion, it could be anger, sadness, depression. It could be a condition, diabetes, which also I just discovered a lot of the sugar comes from the liver, your heart problems, lungs, immunity, headaches, your throat, your knee pain, toe pain, whatever it might be. You just continue to accept his blessing. Just breathe, relax, breathe in, focus on the area, and then breathe out from that area. If it's your shoulder, breathe in to your lower abdomen, then focus your breath and your mind to your shoulder, and then breathe out from your shoulder or your foot or your toe. Just keep breathing. Another minute. And when you're ready, say, put your hands together in the prayer position and say, how means all is good. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Always say it in threes, and just take a moment to finish up your gratitude and thanks, however you choose to do it. And you ready? Open your eyes. Can you share? In the meantime, Catherine, how do you feel before we go to the announcements and the sharing?
Peaceful. I'm very
Lovely.
peaceful.
Nivedita?
I feel amazing. I always ask for my heart because you can never open your heart enough. And love melts all blockages. So we just want love to melt every single blockage, no matter what. And I actually had this really beautiful visual of this beautiful crystal lotus flower coming from heaven and going in my heart and then radiating in concentric circles, just like whoosh, 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 whoosh. So I could feel my heart expanding. It felt so good. It felt so good.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. So here's what's coming up on Saturday, April 30th. That's my birthday.
I got that down.
April 30th. Yes, we have to live in your truth versus speak in your mind. And we'll go more into detail and get more. What I will guarantee, we will have transformation there. That I can guarantee you. Make sure of that. Catherine makes sure of that as well. There is an investment. Yeah, there is an investment, people. And you could do it on Eventbrite. $120. And let me tell you something. $120 is nothing. Like, you guys
Can
are easy.
I ask a question, Dianne and Catherine?
Yes. Canadian.
Yes, you knew I was going to ask that.
Yes. Canadian. Just always asking me that. So this is Canadian. So you want to take a moment, Catherine, and just like a minute or so and tell us what they expect if you have something in mind for this. She's the boss here with this.
Come expecting in the sense of to release, to leave change, leaving all the baggages, leave all the childhood drama, and desiring to live who you really are, and then to for a new beginning. Come because you want to live as a new beginning, a life that is changed, a life that is purposeful, and a life that you love, meaning loving of yourself, and you only want to do what is good for you and not for anybody else.
Thank you. And we'll put the flyer. We will put thank you, Monique. You're welcome. She says she's feeling more energized. And thank you. We'll put the flyer in the comments so you can get the information and the links and so forth as well. Okay, Nivedita, very quickly.
Sorry.
No, just a second. Very quickly now. This is yours.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm offering a choice of 3 packages as an Easter gift. The first one is the Tao Bei back calligraphy, and this is the latest book about healing the back. And of course, this includes everything related to your spine, including the brain, all the bone structure, the musculoskeletal system, all the organs, because they're all related to the spine. So people who are suffering from problems with their back, this is what is going to be happening here. Plus a soul operation. Now, Dianne loves soul operations.
Yes,
she's always asking for soul operations.
Yes.
So that's one offering, or you have a choice of 3 altogether. A healer relationship, because I'm a Tao relationship healer as well, and a success blessing. That's the second choice. The third choice is opening your heart to self-love, because not everybody opens their heart to self-love. Some people have got blockages of negative information, and also an Akashic record reading, because one of my guides is the leader of the Akashic records, which means that everything that you, every action you take that's positive or negative is written in the golden book of heaven, in golden letters if you've got it, everything, if you're doing good deeds, and in not golden letters if it's being done with bad deeds or negative information. So we have these records that are available. And if ever I do an Akashic record reading, I'm given maybe 3 lives. I'm shown 3 lives that have affected that, the question that needs to be answered, or the choice that you would probably prefer to make in order to make something positive happen in your life. So there's those three choices, and
it's 150
and that's Australian dollars.
which is pretty much kind of on par with Canadian dollars.
Yes, that's correct.
Right,
That's correct.
pretty much. And of course, US is another story.
Yes, yes. And the first four bookings get this, the Dow back
That
book free.
actually helped my spine with my scoliosis.
Beautiful book.
Now, you all have the opportunity to have some fun here with me, and I need your help. I'm starting an Ask D column in a magazine. It's a global magazine. It's online. Yes, there's a website for it. And starting in May, it's going to be an advice column. So I need you all to send me questions. Okay? And then when I tell you it's there, you can go and you look at it. So send me questions that you want to know. It's a real column in a real magazine, a global magazine.
Wonderful.
So it's called the Ask D, you can have some fun with this. Where it's going to go, we'll see. So that's coming up as well.
Okay.
There's quite a few things coming up, so bear with me here. And this is all for you all. This is the, sorry, I have to load them differently. On April 20th, we will be having this, Know Your Triggers. You got to know it. This actually name came to me one day, like know your triggers. The brain, as we know, like you can read, I know you guys can read, it's fascinating, but yet it's complex. And we make it even more complicated than it is. When we take action, we got to take responsibility. And when we open our mouth and talk crazy, we have to pay the price. What we don't understand is how a trigger hurts us. And did you know, when I'm reading straight from here, so you guys can read too, when your trigger increases, your IQ decreases. You could be as intelligent as you could possibly be. You could be a genius, a scholar. When you have trigger, you get like jello. Your smartness goes out. Your intelligence goes out. Mm-hmm. So here you're going to learn, discover, and work with your triggers. And if for anybody who's ever been in a session with me, you know what I'm talking about. And for $97 Canadian, Nivedita, this is a no-brainer. It's not posted anywhere. You have to contact me directly in order to do these things. Because I always like to give people homework for many reasons. So if you're interested in that, definitely, again, we're here to help you at a combination. Are you ready to invest in yourself in any one of these? And we ain't done yet. There's quite a few more. And I just have to remember where it is. We have the 5 Fridays, which is, sorry, I just have to I have a tiny little screen I have to work with here. Okay, guys. Where is it? I can't even figure out where it is now. The Fridays, we have to look at the Fridays. I don't even know. Oh, here it is. They have a big screen. I got a tiny little screen. Every Friday, we're talking about clearing the mind. We started the first one. How you stop the noise, how to rewire the thoughts, release the gestalts, the anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, limiting decision, and the memories around the childhood trauma. Reverse the limiting decisions. I'm going to say this to you. You can pay for the $250. Well, no, one day is gone, or $75 per session. Here's what I'm going to say to you. Everything you want to do, if you don't start like what we're doing the baby steps right now. If you can't handle none of this and you don't want to pay $75, $95, $125, and so forth to get to where you need to be, then there's something really wrong here. Like, seriously. The elephant in the room is a whole nother story.
You have to invest in your life.
You
And
have to invest. You have to say where you're going to start. Don't come and cry wolf. Don't believe that everything is free, free, free. It's going to be free. We also have, and some of these dates may change, on May 14th. Now, some of you, well, me, Nivedita, you had actually attended the whole 5 days we did this. We had relationship, we had conflict resolution, we had meditation, we had, I forget the rest of business, soul marketing. We had a whole slew of things. We had the elephant in the room. I'm telling you, I'm combining, except with the elephant. We'll do little pieces of it, but not really the elephant. This is like in one day, 5 hours of what we did in 5 days plus. And this is valued more than this, but it's for like $698. We had Catherine, we had Nivedita, we had Sue, we had all these guys there. Some of them came at different times. And, there are some of them who we didn't even start the session. I just did a little ritual with them, and it was like an eye opener.
So when you look at the title, Reclaim Your Power, Live Your Passion, that tells you the whole story about what you get from this workshop. This series is amazing.
And then here is, and I hope this is the right one. I don't know if this is the right date on here.
Oh, vision board.
Okay. If the vision board, this is underpriced, but I did this for a reason. The vision board, Nivedita did 4 vision boards. This is not a typical vision board session. This vision board, you have to put some thought. David, give us like 2 or 3 minutes of it, because I don't want to talk. I want you all what you all have gotten out of it. And Catherine, we were talking about getting your group to do this as well, because it's so transformational. It's not funny. It's everything you didn't expect. So just quickly, just give them a.
Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 of my vision boards that I developed. These were all my wants and desires. This was where my mind was at the time. And I wanted miracles. I wanted miracles of finances. I wanted everything that I could possibly have. And I put it all on this board. And this was my first one, and it was very powerful. My second one was a different one again. This was about what my heart wanted. My heart wanted to be involved with my Buddha self, my spiritual self, that love of everything that is portrayed by this picture of this beautiful female Buddha. This was like what my heart's desire was. And then I did another one.
But while you're showing that, what did it do for you, the process?
Oh, well, I hadn't painted for such a long time. And my soul just said, don't do one like the other one. So I listened. And then this just created itself. This was a painting that I did that I haven't been, as I said, I hadn't painted for a long time. So I did this one. And this really opened my heart more. As you can see, there's all these beautiful hearts and flowers and little calligraphies that are blessing everybody.
But one of the things too as well with Nivedita, because she's been through so many training, she's gone through the process. And the other thing I forgot with the 5 days, when we talk about the Reclaim Your, is the theta state. You learn how to go to the theta state.
Yes.
And it also take you to the timeline, how you put these things in the timeline. I am not kidding you. These are not. And I have to say this, as humbly as I could say this, this is not me doing any of this. I am not kidding you. I have no control of my life. I have no control of what I say. I'm telling you, these things come out. These names come to like out of the blue. That for a split second, the name comes out like, oh, okay. And then I go and create something. So this is what I have been guided to do for you all. So if you all really, and there's more, and there's a couple of things, join us. We also have a mastermind page that for a monthly fee, you can get this and more, and you get discounts on all of this as well. if you join that for $97 a month.
Well, Catherine was talking about the flows from God, the messages from God when she's flowing for people. Well, the workshops that you do are also flows from the divine in order to help people. Everything that we do on the spiritual level is we're guided to work to help people in many ways. And there are so many ways to help people. And people are just spoiled for choice, really, about how they can help themselves by just attending a workshop. It just triggers off such an aha moment, triggers off such wisdom within their own soul. It's like their soul is thirsting for them to do this. And I just want to quickly show you my last this vision board I did, because I was studying at the time. I was studying a course called Divine Love, and I wanted to embody more divine love. So it's like breathing in love and breathing out all the pollution that's negative in your consciousness, which is really important. And
she did that picture. She did that picture from memory. She wasn't. She did that picture from memory. I was like, "What is she doing in the back there?" She attends all these sessions. All these sessions she attends multiple times.
Yeah. And there's more to come. You know, it's like it's an opportunity for your creative power to come out, and your soul comes out and expresses itself. So it's these vision boards are just amazing. I mean, I know I've got more in there, and they're just waiting to come out. It's just sort of working around a time that will allow me that time to do it at the moment.
Crack me up, yes, girl. So Catherine,
I have such fun. I just love all of
you should see them. Creation. Oh, you should see them. I had a blast looking at Alan alone. Alan was like starting to draw, and it's like, you could draw, and he was like in his element. You couldn't believe that the creative side came out. Oh, we have so much fun. Catherine, you can put the link for the Eventbrite on the comments on the different pages. And if you want to get a hold of Catherine, the email is there, DDWCC, which is Divine Destiny World Changers Center at yahoo.com. And they'll definitely reach out to her. If you have any questions, please, people, send me a question for, my column. Plus, we do other things as well. And again, Rosemary, you can let us know who you would like to connect with, Catherine or Nivedita. And again, this is the second time for Rosemary. So if Rosemary talks, this is what we're saying. You never know what you can get. Ladies,
I like the idea of your wheel. I think I want to take that idea. And
love my wheel?
I do. I think a great incentive. Yeah.
It's fun. I'm not kidding you. The wheel, what it is too is I don't even know why I have it here.
Tell us where you got it.
It's a liquid chalk, and you can wipe it off. And I just wrote this the first time. I didn't know what I was writing, and I said, you know what, I gotta do different things. But now we're doing it, and I said, you know what, I'll just put it general, and then you can choose, since it's Nivedita myself. And we have the elephant in the room. We have the live in your truth, and conflict resolution, which these are worth. They're worth it. Yeah. So this is the thing to do, but it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's
really fun, and people look forward to what it is. So that's why we like to have fun. Why not? This is our way of you tasting a bit of what we do.
Yeah.
What it is we talk about.
Take us up on the opportunity.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know, Rosemary. Rosemary can message us privately on our chat. She's part of our chat. So definitely so ladies, we're over the time, but we still have people here. So anybody have a quick question? If everybody is fine, put it in the comments. If not, if I see a comment before we wrap up, good. If not, well, we wrap up.
I'd like you to share very briefly about the work you did with the children with the vision board.
Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, last month, I don't even know. No, it's about almost a month now. We did a vision board for 2 groups in Nigeria, in Lagos. And one group is from 7 to 12. And these kids have never done something like this before. And if you're someone out there who want to work with kids, I have a program, please reach out to me and I can connect you with Ola, because they're always looking for different things. Because coming from the outside, we give these children hope. We had as young as 5 years old in that group. You would be surprised. And they were singing for me. I had them singing. They had to sing. We had them doing affirmations, all these different things. And you should see how they draw. I was shocked. Well, I shouldn't be shocked, but they were really good. Then the next day I did it from 13 to 17. And I'm telling you, that was life transformational, because these kids are now in middle school or want to go to university. Some want to be engineers and so forth. And one in particular, Victor, he was working as construct, six siblings and his parents living in one room. And they sent him out to work, but he wants to focus in school because he wants to do petroleum engineering. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, I will help him as much as we can. We can give him guidance. He needs that. And quiet as a mouse, but he was brave enough to come and say the question, can I change my mind about, I can't forget the exact, and follow his passion because of the job. That night he went to Ola and said, I don't want to work the construction. I want to focus on my school. Can you help me do the application to get into the school? And it was only like $15 US. And I said, okay, Ola, let's get him to that. And Ola did the work with him, fill out the paperwork and so forth. We have to now, it's our duty to now, like, we adopted this young man, and because we can see, and for him to do something like that, he's the oldest of 6 children, and they're in one room. So we have a choice, and the choice.
And the kids didn't even have food. They had no food.
No, the younger ones, some of them didn't have foods or snacks and so forth. And I didn't realize that. And I was like, okay, the next time, and it costs like maybe $16, I think it is, maybe to give them a snack, some juice, apples, and whatever. So this is what happens. And they want to know when the vision board was coming back next. They thought the next week and the next week. And we have to follow up. And it's a comfort. So again, this is what we need to do. We need to share what it is the talents and the gifts that we have. So Catherine, in closing, what would you like to say and leave the message?
We're talking about being true to yourself. And I think we have to start to embrace who we are. We may not like the family that we're living with, but we got to live with who we are and being true to that. So, tonight was wonderful. It was open. It was refreshing, as we're speaking our truth and speaking what we want to see and why we are here, the purpose of why we are here, to help humanity. And I think that we're here to help each other. And I think that as we're living our truth, that we're all connected in some form. Doesn't matter what country we're in, we're still divinely connected. The divine connects us in every way. So I think tonight, thank you, ladies, for having me on tonight. I enjoy every bit of it. And those that were on the line, I trust that you did enjoy what you heard tonight. Thank you.
Well, Catherine, for that, all I know, we always talking. We're going to give you a spin, okay? Let's give you a spin. You got 60 minutes with Nivedita.
Oh,
you're always with me. So we got 60 minutes with Nivedita. Is that okay, Nivedita?
Perfect. Catherine and I have that before. Lovely.
All right.
See? So the only reason why she wants to feel the effect. It has a funny thing. It's not so much about the wheel. Well, the wheel is kind of cute. It's the fact. It's the not knowing where it's going to end up.
Yeah, sure.
That is the fun part of it.
It's a great idea.
Nivedita, you're closing.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with what Catherine's just said. And for me, we're always endeavoring to become our best self and really open up to love, because when we open up to love, we radiate that love to others, and it's like a domino effect. And you don't realize the domino effect until people come up to you and say, you've made such a difference to my life just by knowing you and, by being who you are and being loving. and positive, that, you know, it's carried on through my life. And that's a great thing to know, that you're making a difference to people's lives by helping them to be happier, to be healthier, which sounds cliche, but it isn't really, because if somebody has come to you and you see them at the beginning and they've been suffering with depression, and to see them lighten up and lighten up and lighten up each more, so that, you know, things like with people suffer with depression, you know, they can feel suicidal and things like that. And when the light is coming into their own souls and they're embracing love more, then, you know, that thought is just not there. It's just more positive thinking, more positive energy. And that's really important, because we are what we think. What we think is what we create. Sure. So we're just creators. So thinking love is creating love.
Thank you so much for that. And you know what? The way we heal ourselves is by healing others. And I want, it's not what I want. I know what I'm being guided to. And I'm not trying to be cocky or whatsoever, because I have no control of my life anymore, apparently. In regards to, I want to see you where we can recognize you in the future as being one of those. You may not get something like this, okay, or get a certificate, but to get something where we, like the people, acknowledging you. And the way you do that is by helping. And you have to start by investing in yourself. You have to do that by clearing up all the crap around you. And yes, sometimes it's okay to say the word crap. And to do things where people would recognize and say, okay, what is Rosemary doing today? What did Sue do? How is she helping the community? How is Audrey? And I'm just picking names that I know. And I know Monique and everybody. What are they doing? Because when someone received, like Nivedita did, and my Sandra or Myrna, they were ecstatic because nobody's done this before. And she's over 60 years, 40 plus years in healing. And I want to see that. I want to be the one to announce your name or making that. I am not kidding you about it. And for you, those who know me and Catherine and Nivedita, you know I ain't joking about that. So this is what I want. And how
you want to empower everybody.
Yeah, true.
By us, all of us empowering another, we empower ourselves.
That's right.
I just don't come up all these events just by, like I said, these names, these things come to me. I don't go out there and there's more, and I didn't even put it there. I don't want people to think I'm all cocky and all about that. That's not what this is about. This is all transformational. So this is what I want for you all. I want you to engage. I want you to send me a question so I could write about it and put it in the magazine, so you can probably get your name up there and you can show somebody this and that. You can even put initials if you want. I want to share with you how you start writing a book, how you start writing your memoirs or your journal, all these things. This is what we're here to do. If you have to spend a few dollars, okay, that will change your life. You'll be surprised. But I can guarantee you one thing, down the road, these prices will not be the same. So take it when you can get it.
Remember, it's an investment for your life.
Not everything will be given to you free. This poor money mindset nonsense has to stop right now. And here's the thing. If you don't have the $100, you don't have the whatever it is, or the $200, talk to us. We're here for plans. I always say to people, and I'll end with this, in order for you to work with us to get money to invest in yourself, with us and other people, we have to show you how to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I must say that Dianne did this brilliant workshop, the Millionaire Mind, and we did this last year, and that was really good.
Yeah, so we did. Well, everybody in there had to be the elephant in the room. They had to do the elephant in the room. Don't come with their mindset they had before. That was rule number one. We did a 5W intro workshop. We did the business workshop, and then we did making of a millionaire mindset. And we have the millionaire mindset, the Reclaim Your Power mindset group that we will talk about and introduce. So I am just saying, sometimes I just want to reach out and say, wake up. Please wake up. This is 2022. This is the year of prosperity. This is the year of flourishing. We all have to do it together. What you give out, you will get back. So on that note, I want to thank everyone. Congratulations to everybody. And, for taking part in all of this, spending all this time with us, and you're still here. So that's a good thing. But most importantly, discover what your triggers are. Your triggers will give the first impression from your mouth with the actions you take, which may not be a good thing, or from your heart, where people can see you. A trigger can be a good thing as well. Don't get me wrong. It can be positive as well. So if you have a good trigger and it's coming from the heart, you will shine. If you have a trigger and it's coming from the mouth and the mind and you're not thinking about it, because by the way, and I'm just going to quickly say this, there is a soul, heart, mind, body, and matter. And just very quickly at the end of this, the soul houses the information, which is your soul, your spirit, your breath of life, the information coming in, which is stored from lifetimes and everything around it. It's all absorbed in there, and it's keeping it the unconscious mind, subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. It's keeping the file cabinet, and then it sends the message to the heart, who receives it. And then from the heart, it processes it and say, mind, this is what you need to do. And mind say, okay, I will feel like this is a good day. Good. This is not so good. Okay, what happened? And that's a conversation. It happens in a split second. Then it goes to the body, which is the chi, the energy. And of course, it moves the information, which, sometimes we feel the feelings and so forth. And of course, the matter is the actual body itself, which is a transformer of the information that came from the soul that went to the heart, that processed through the body, then the mind, and then the body, and so forth. And this is how you feel. You get goosebumps and all these things. But it happens so fast. So all I'm saying to you is, you need to stop and wake up. And I can go on forever, just do my best to shake you all up. But I can only do that much. So on that note, I want to say thank you for being here. If you heard anything that we said today, take action on one. Or if you're not sure, again, I'm always going to say this, you have to trust in surrendering. But you also have to surrender in trusting and knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do, the right path. That should be my mantra. That is. I always say that. So thank you all for listening.
Can we do one thing?
Yes, we can do one thing.
Can we get Nivedita to do the awesomeness? Can we close with that?
Let's give her the wait. Let's give her the wait. Let's give her the full
screen.
Okay. Fingers to toes. Running your fingers up your legs, up your body. I feel awesome. And you have to feel it. You have to really feel awesome. I feel awesome. I feel awesome. And we do gratitude. Gratitude changes my life. Gratitude changes my life. Gratitude changes my life.
Catherine wants to hear you sing it. I know what Catherine wants. Catherine wants to hear you sing. I know what Catherine wants.
Okay. Gratitude changes my life. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude changes my life. Gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude changes my life. Boom, boom. Gratitude changes my life. Boom, boom.
That is what Catherine wanted to hear.
Oh, okay.
Actually, what I was seeing is that she was in a field and she was just dancing around with the flowers and in the field, and that's what I was seeing. So that's what I said, okay, she needs to do this to close off tonight.
Yes, don't get us started. Don't get us started. Trust me on that one.
All right, ladies.
I love beautiful.
I know. Just have a great, amazing evening, everyone. I want to thank you all for being here as usual, and do something good. Not only do something good for someone, do something good for yourself.
Can I sing one more song?
Yes. Do you ever want us to end?
Okay, this song is the Divine Love song.
Short version.
The short version.
Mm-hmm.
I am the inheritor of the whole cosmos. 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 I am loved, protected, and supported by the whole cosmos, divine and Tao. I am loved, protected, and supported by the whole cosmos, divine and Tao. I am loved, protected, and supported by the whole cosmos, divine and Tao. Beyond my wildest dreams, beyond my wildest dreams, I see, feel, and enjoy the sacredness and divinity of everyone and everything in every moment without resistance. And then I just sing it over and over again.
Very nice.
On that note, we will say bye-bye. Love you guys. Take care. Have a good one.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Love you.
Bye. Love you too.